What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Ashton Corners. Today's going to be a little bit different of a video. We're not going to do the just let's play kind of, role play type stuff. We are going to do a little bit of work on the farm, of course, because I know you guys love that stuff. But I finally, with the help of King May, he'll be linked in the video description below, with his help, figured out a good bit about how this farm actually is supposed to operate. Let me show you around and let's get started. I just finished harvesting the oats off of this field 30. So this was full of oats. We went ahead and harvested and dropped straw so we can get, food for our cows. So let's go ahead and get this load of oats taken back over and we'll show you how to get it into the silos. Okay, so we're coming up here to, this is where I was getting confused. There's a couple of things I need to show you about the bin setup here. Number one, right there, that little leg that comes down, that is where you're going to actually load your crane into. All right, get you an auger, get it set up. Now, I have this one offset a little bit. It's pushed back, and I'll show you the reason for that in a while. It's supposed to be directly over this, but I have it pushed back, so when I pull my cart up here, I can slide it back under the cart and line it up correctly with that. So that's how you would do that, where you don't have to keep moving, adjusting the cart and everything. All right, in here, this is very important. You have 4 bins, okay? 1 here, 2 is this one, 3 is the big one that I just showed you, and 4 would be the Meridian tank here. Still not quite sure what this one will actually accept. I haven't figured that out yet, guys. If you're, leave a comment down below if you've played this map and you know what this bin actually is supposed to be used for. I'm thinking maybe cracked corn silage, or I don't know, cracked corn or something. I really don't know. And I'll get to showing you also how to make the cracked corn. But okay, so there's 4 different bin switches, and you can't see it on my screen, but if you walk up to it, it'll tell you which one it is. Like right now, this says bin 4, it says leg on, but that means that you have to push the button to turn the leg on. So the switches are down if they're on, they're up if they're off. So right now we've got bin 1 switched to on. So that means that everything that I'm unloading into this auger, going to go up there and get separated into bin 1, which is, I believe, this one over here. Yeah, this is bin 1 right here. So make sure also that you've got the unload set to off, because you don't want it to spill out or anything. So, all right, so we've got the unload to off. We've got the auger kind of set up here. We're going to go ahead and pull our grain cart, our gravity wagon, over here, get her lined up. Now, I do want to get it as close as possible, but I don't want to bump it because it's perfectly in line. So we're going to get it about right there. Go ahead and hop out. We're going to move the auger very so slightly, so we got to crank it up. We're going to move it backwards just a little, where it gets just under gravity wagon. And there. So now that should be perfectly in line. Let me just check. Yep, that's perfectly in line with that shoulder. This is perfectly in line with this. So when I hop up here, I should get my little icon. And I do, see? So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and unload. And as you can see, it's pouring directly, well, now you can see, it is pouring directly into that silo. Or into the leg there that goes and pours into the silo. So we'll let this unload, and I'll go ahead and show you something else. So over here, now these are your harvestors. They are for turning corn chaff into corn silage or silage, and there's 3 of them. Now, if you walk up to it and you hit your little button here, which is manage production point, you'll see that it says, okay, so this is Harvestor Silo -Y. Right now, you've got 2 different options for silage. One is chaff. One is grass. Now, this is direct grass. This is not chaff. Now, I haven't actually tested it with direct grass, because I did it wrong the first time, and I actually got it, you know, off the field, and it turned into chaff. So I don't know if I can actually unload this, but I do know that you cannot unload like grass clippings into this bin yet. It pours all over the ground. I had several people test this, and it all does the same. So right now, only use the corn silage or the chaff from the corn. That's the best rule of thumb. To get it up in there, you're going to need a blower and a small tractor. I went with the New Holland blower. There's the F6 2B. There's also a John Deere blower out there on one of the mod sites. And then I got this little McCormick Farmall tractor here, just enough to power it. You don't need much power. I mean, anything even under 100 horsepower should be fine. Up here, we've got our... I'm using it as a hay barn, which pretty much is what it is. You can, you know, load your hay and your straw in there. We've got a few here that I'm going to have to get to and actually load up. Over here, we have our Tmr Mixer. Let's go ahead and hop in here. And you guys are not going to be able to see the percentages, but on the left side, you know, normally you would have, you know, you would have hay, you would have straw, and you would have silage and mineral feed. That would be the only 4 components. This adds 2 more components to your TMR. This map does. It adds molasses and cracked corn. Now, molasses, you can buy direct and put it and store it in this silo back here. That's what this little bitty silo is for. This one. This is for molasses. It's got a production point, so you just walk up to it, click your production point, and you would buy the molasses here. I've already bought it. That's why it's not letting me buy anymore. But that's full of molasses right now. And I'm thinking that this is probably for cracked corn as well, but you can't just go up and buy this. You actually have to make the cracked corn yourself. So let's check on our oats here and see. All right, looks like we are empty. So let's go ahead and move this back out of our way. Boom. Go ahead and turn it off. And go ahead and hop back in and get our gravity wagon out of the way. We can put it up for now because we're not going to need it. All right, so we're just gonna leave this in here for now. Let's go ahead and bale up a couple of bales of straw, which I've got the old John Deere. What is this? 4960. Got the old 4960 ready to fire it up. Go ahead and make a couple of bales, and I'll show you where the feed points are for the cows. They're a little bit hard to find. We're cruising along here. I've got the automatic drop turned on. This is also another mod. It's called Round Bale Extension. Should be able to find it about anywhere. And okay, so there's one bale. We'll get at least 2 or 3 so I can show you where all the feed points are for all the different barns. And if you haven't got the Vermeer pack yet, I highly recommend it. It's a really good DLC. It's got, you know, several different pieces of equipment to it. And the only reason I did not get the, there's a self-propelled baler, which is very, very cool, and I love driving it. But I wanted to go a little bit more old school this time around. That's kind of why I'm doing it with this setup. All right, let's go ahead and get about 1 more bale here. I would say that would be enough because I'm only going to show you like 3 places. Now, I'm not going to be able to do pigs yet for you guys. I need to figure out a couple of things on it, but I think it's probably more simple than the rest of this. All right, there is our 3rd bale coming out there. Let's go ahead and cut that off. And to get these off, just so I can show you real quick how to get these into the feeding points, we're going to hop in the 7150 here. Go ahead and head over and pick up a couple and show you where they get dropped off. Let's go to the one down here, the furthest one out, the main dairy, which is just down past, oops, sorry, a little zoomed in there, which is just down here past this. Okay, yep, there we go. And now, this is where it gets a little tricky. You can see where I've got these barn doors open, okay? Now, I don't know, there's no way that I know of, I haven't tested this really, but I don't think you could just pull up beside here and spray straw in there like you normally would be able to. The only way I figured out how to work is this is right here is where the point is. So I've been using, the only way I could really do it is to drop the straw bale back here using super strength. And right now, this one actually is full of straw. But right there where that bale is, I left it there on purpose to show you guys. That right there is the drop-off point for the straw. For this area. So for these cows right here, that is your straw drop-off point. Right in here. Now, I don't know if there's a smaller straw shooter or whatever you call it. I call them straw shooters. I don't know what the real name of it is. But straw spreader, maybe. I don't know if there's a tiny one that you can get in here with a tiny tractor, but I'll have to test that and let you guys know. But you can bring the bales in here and drop them right here with no problem. This is the feeding trough that you put your TMR in. Now, it does not show a texture once you drop it off. The other thing that's a little weird about this is not all TMR mixers necessarily work with this. I did encounter one, which was a self-propelled one. Not this one. This one works. But there is one over here that is in the shop that does not work. So if you're having a hard time finding where to dump the TMR, it's probably your TMR mixer. All you do is you just pull back up right beside this, and you should get the icon to start dumping out here. This is supposed to be, I think, where the manure... Yes, this is the manure. This is where this accumulates. So you've got your manure spreader that you can pull up. Well, I don't have a manure spreader yet, but right here is where you can unload it into the manure spreader. That's why these are up off the ground a little bit. Took me a little while to figure that out too, because, you know, normally they would be flush with the ground, but they're this way on purpose. This is not an unfinished thing. This is by design. So you can pull your manure spreader up here, and you can get your skid steer and put your manure in it. All right, back over here. Now, this barn right here, this is a heifer pen. So this is a little weird. I think your manure will accumulate here, but you notice that there's not an animal dialogue icon anywhere in here. I just happened to find it. It's actually right about here. So right in front of these bales of hay, just like get lined up with the bales of hay and back up a little bit to about right there, where you're kind of looking out of the door. See where I'm at? Right here. And then you click your button, boom, animal dialogue. I don't know that you can move them from one to the other. I mean, I guess you could. You could probably get an animal trailer, load them up into the trailer from, you know, your main dairy over here once they reach maturity, and then you put them in the heifer barn over here, and then you get the younger ones out and move them back over. That's probably by design the way that he did that. Okay, back over here. This is your cracked cornmeal. Now, you have to buy this when you first come up to it. It's not, by default, it's not a part of the land when you buy it. So you have to buy this mill. You need an auger to put your corn. You put corn in the auger. It goes down here into the cracked corn mill. Then you bring this up, which is your managed production point. You go down here to cracked corn. If you notice here, there's cracked corn. In the middle screen there, it says 99 corn and 1. That's inoculant. You need inoculant. So you need to load up inoculant into this as well. All right, you got to go to big bags for the inoculant, which will be all the way at the end, I believe. Yeah, it's the one that looks like this. It's the one that stands upright. It's at the very end, and it says Inoculant Bag Mod. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buy that. You can only buy them one at a time, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and buy several of them. Boom. Boom. There's about 6 of them right there. So, all right. So here's my inoculant bag. Now, what I can do with these, I think I can just put, I don't need the auger for this. I think this will just go straight in. Let's see. Yeah, it's going in. See? All right. So there's some inoculant in here. All right, now if we go up and manage the production point, we should see the inoculant is in here, and it is. We got 399 liters. So your inoculant, you're not going to need a ton of it. I mean, honestly, it's 99 corn to 1 inoculant. Anyway, you get the idea. So you put your inoculant in there. You can do that direct with these bags. And then the corn, you need to dump the corn into here as well. And that will make cracked corn. And this is the thing you get it out with another auger. Now, let me explain these bins, or these silos. All right, so right here we've got our, this is for chaff. And this is what I was talking about the grass chaff. This is what you, when you dump the grass in here, this is what you get. Now, this will, as far as I know, ferment into silage. So we're going to put, we've got 2 bins for grass there. Now, this one, it says fill level cracked corn. So evidently, I don't know for a fact, but it's sounding like you put the cracked corn in here and then you ferment it into something. So maybe it has to be fermented first and then you use it in the TMR. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm hoping what the deal is yes, you ferment it, then you get it in TMR form or whatever form it's going to end up in after it ferments. Then you take it from here and put it in this Meridian silo over here and have it just ready to go. I'm hoping that's the case, but I could be completely wrong on that. Okay, so as far as I know, like I said, this is the production point for this heifer barn. I don't know exactly where the hay goes yet. Straw, you may actually be able to spread the straw here. Now, this is interesting, too, because this looks like manure, and I think it is. So that means that manure is still collecting here, which is very odd, because there's no cows in here. But I'm wondering if these are somehow all linked together. I think they are, but I could be wrong. All right, so you remember that right over there is where the straw gets dropped off for this main dairy. All right, we're going to go up the hill here, and up the hill to our left, you basically, all you have to do is drop the straw right in the middle, in this middle lane here. So once you pull into the barn here, you just dump it right. Whoop, a bit better view. You just kind of dump it, and it should automatically take it. It should disappear when it falls off this fork. And get it to fall off the fork. Fall off the fork. There you go. See, not disappeared. That means it's loaded. So, like I said, I haven't tested the driving the straw spreader in here and trying it that way. I really wish it did work that way because I think it's a cooler effect other than just dropping it off, but it is what it is. For all the other added features, you know, with the differences in how you make your TMR, I mean, it can be worth it. That's where you drop your straw, and then right here, you just drive your TMR mixer through here, and it will, that's where you drop it off. Over here is your manure collection point for this barn. It is actually inside the barn. So you'll need a skid steer or something small, very small. Probably skid steer would be the best. Just come in on this side right here. Scoop it out, put it in your manure spreader. So, there you go. This is a good starting base point for a how-to on Ashton Corners. Alright guys, well like I said, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it. Till next time, DTfang, we'll see you on the next one. See ya!